Welcome, bienvenidos. Today is vlog 37. This is Metamorphosis Rocks. My name is Roxana, and today we're going to talk about advice. And staying in your lane as far as advice is concerned. And what I mean by that is, unless you're talking about something that somebody asks for your opinion, don't volunteer anything. And I know that sounds odd, but it will make sense in the end, as usual. Now, this video was inspired by a situation that I saw online recently where a person finally showed their true colors in not a nice way. And when they were called to it, they were called to the mat for it, their answer was, "This is my opinion." Well, your opinion happens to be very discriminatory against certain people, so that's nice. It's also talking about what the future will hold if you have children, which I feel sorry for your children if you ever have any. And it's just another example of how people justify the truth in my opinion. I think it's right. It's my opinion. And you're not going to change my opinion, and nobody is. Okay. Well, when you're wrong, life has a way of teaching you what right is. So don't get too high horse on me, because you will find out eventually. But more importantly, he talks about advice, because I want to talk about advice because sometimes we are so eager to help somebody fit in or be part of a group or be part of an activity or something, that we forget that when people start coming to a place, like for example, if you have a group, and I see this a lot in like organizations like church groups and stuff like that, but it could be any group. It could be a new group of friends in college or whatever. It's a group. They are like, they're dating. It's like they're dating. Everybody's in their best behavior. And after a while, you start seeing little cracks on the foundation if the person's not being totally honest. Now, I've never been one to be like trying to fit it into anything. So what you see is what you get. And as time goes on, you're still going to see what you get. I'm outspoken. I'm loud. I laugh ridiculously loud too. I don't like to cry in public, so I probably get upset before I cry in public. And I'm just, whatever you see, wherever you see me, that's what you're going to get. Period. I'm not into, I don't care. I mean, if you like me, you like me, and if you don't, you don't, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I'm not big on, oh, well, I'm into this new group, so I'm going to do anything so everybody likes me. That's not me. Fortunately, that's not me, because what ends up happening is that in the beginning, half the people don't like me because I'm too this or too loud or too obnoxious or whatever. And then as the days go by and they realize that other people were acting and I have stayed true to myself the entire time, they're like, "I just love your honesty." That's usually the expression, literally, that I get. "I just love your honesty." Well, I'd rather you love my honesty than you love a fake me. That's the way I look at it. But I'm not in, I am guilty of when somebody comes to a group new, trying to help them out. Because I want them, to fit in or whatever, or be part of the group or whatever, if that's the impression they give. Now, when cracks start showing in the foundation, I'm usually the person that gives them the benefit of the doubt up till the end. And so it happens on more than one occasion that I get bit in the behind because of that. So sure enough, there was a person that was trying to fit into a group, and I gave them the benefit of the doubt more than once. I saw some cracks in the foundation, and I didn't necessarily excuse them, because I didn't. I just figured, there's got to be a reason behind it. And when people gave me messages where I could see the reason behind it, I would say, "See, that's probably why this person behaved this way when this happened, because of this." And I basically try to smooth things over around this person and the persons that were surrounding them. As it turns out, this person is not a nice person. It is very disappointing. It is actually heartbreaking. And not only that, but they think that sometimes you're right and you want to be happy more than right. So you will actually take on other people's opinions as you form your own. And then, you'll knock out whatever you don't believe in and you'll keep whatever you believe, but you're open to listening. Then there's some people that it's my way or the highway. I don't care what you think. And the thing about that is when it comes to groups, it's better if they're all in a consensus. You can't be in a group and try to pull in your direction. And number one, you are going to get pushback. And number two, yeah, maybe a couple of people are going to go with you, but the majority are going to stand very much against you from the get-go, no matter what your position is, because you're trying to interfere with a dynamic that is already there. If you're a newcomer to a group, you don't have to be nice to get along. You have to understand that there's a dynamic already working, and until you get to know the dynamic, you should not try to push against the dynamic. So it made me think a lot about the dynamics of groups, actually. And I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a social worker. I just love studying people's behavior. I did study that in college for a couple of courses. Well, actually, when you think about it, marketing is more than a couple of courses in human behavior. There's a lot of human behavior on pretty much anything you do in marketing, but that's not the point. The point is that I've always been interested in watching human behavior. And just because you don't have a college course doesn't mean that you don't study human behavior. I've been doing this for years. And I always find it fascinating when somebody comes out the door swinging. It's gonna be my way or the highway, because there's a big difference. There's a difference between I'm gonna be me and it's gonna be my way or the highway. And I'm gonna tell you what the difference is. When you come out, I'm gonna be me, you're being true to yourself and you're being honest with the other people. That doesn't mean that you're gonna kidnap their group or whatever the situation is. When you say it's my way or the highway, it's basically not only are you saying I'm gonna be me, which, yeah, I guess you could be saying that you're gonna be you, but when it's my way or the highway, it's more of I have no intention of fitting in or being part of this group. I'm just gonna take whatever I can and whatever. I don't know if I'm explaining myself perfectly. I guess what I'm trying to say is that when you do you're still open to see what other people have to say. When you are your way or the highway, you're not open. And so people that are my way or the highway are also doing that, doing me doing me. But people that are I'm gonna be me are not necessarily my way or the highway, if that makes sense. So, and it is a little disturbing when you like somebody and it turns out that they are absolutely nothing like the person that you liked in the first place. It is very disturbing. It is annoying, and sometimes it's downright bothersome. But if there's something that I've learned in 50 years of life, is that you cannot spend too much time mourning people that were not what you thought to begin with. And that's the lesson that I want you to learn for today. When it's somebody that you care about and you've been with them for a long time, you can mourn all you want and do whatever you want, because it is what it is. But when it's somebody that hasn't been there too long, you just join a group and this person joined in after you and it turns out they're not a right fit, or they're not what you expected them to be, and not in a good way, because they can be not what you expect but in a good way, and that would be awesome. But when they're not what you expect and they haven't been around too long, you just have to learn that people are people, and not everybody's going to be what you think they are. That's just the reality of life. Some people are very good at faking stuff. And you just have to have a nice life. Don't ask me to help you because I'm not. And I am going to be very selfish. You see, I'm 50 years old. And I know now more than ever that life is too short for me to be wasting it helping people that don't want to be helped. And that's really important to understand too. As we get older, we try to either be nicer or less nice, I guess is the easiest way to explain it. And the reality is, no. There is a difference between helping people and just giving people benefits of the doubt one, twice, three, four times. I don't have time for that. I have way too many things on my plate to be worried about helping somebody that doesn't want to be helped. I guess that's the bottom line. So tell me in the comments below if you've ever experienced a situation like this where a person turns out to be not what you thought they were, and not in a good way. And how did you deal with it? In the meantime, have a nice day. I'll be back soon.